Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
Going pretty well.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah. Real nice.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
What's the Crack podcast episode?
14.
Is it 14?
Yes, we did 13 because remember I threw up gang signs.
Ah,
So
you did.
today's-
Today it's episode 14.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
What's the crack?
I've got a dilemma for you today.
Oh, a little dilemma.
Do-do-do-do.
We're not talking about aliens again.
Nah,
Oh, sorry, Alan.
they're not real. Apart from Alan.
Yeah, oh, shh.
I said apart from Alan.
Say it at all.
So, what would you do?
No.
I found an open pack of condoms in my girl's handbag on Wednesday morning whilst looking for parking change. I didn't confront her because I had a big day at work. Last night I did, and she denied everything. We checked her bag and there was nothing. Now I look crazy. What would you do?
It wouldn't have even been a conversation. Maybe just for like the peace of mind, I would have brought it up with her. But like, it doesn't matter if she's making me look crazy or not. We're breaking up because you know what you saw.
I know what I saw, sir.
you know, so she's obviously got rid of it. So it doesn't matter what isn't there now. What did you just imagine a pack of condoms in her bag?
You know,
What were you on? Were you high? I don't know what drugs you need to be on to think you would see that in someone's bag.
yeah.
So obviously she's cheating on you, G, and she's covered it up, and now she's giving you the whole they were never there in the first place.
And she was being safe.
I mean, at least she was being safe.
No, I mean, as in, like, it obviously is for that purpose because
Oh, right.
I'm assuming they're in a relationship and she probably isn't using them in that relationship.
Well, yeah, because it's out of the ordinary. Otherwise, you think, oh,
They're ours.
Yeah.
Do you know exactly? Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
But he's
yeah,
not
yeah.
thought that. He's thought, oh, there's a pack of condom in my girl's bag, and he's probably thinking, well, we don't use condoms, so why she got them? But it's because she's banging next
she's
man.
banging God knows who, Jimmy, Tyrone, James. You just
David,
someone.
all of them.
Maybe even Clarissa. You don't know how
Clarissa.
she's swimming in, unless she's a science teacher or something, and she's doing experiments.
Doubt it.
You know, where the sex
No.
education, where they're
No,
showing you
because
to
he'd
how
know-
to put the condom on. Did they do that in school?
I
you
don't
remember-
think I remember ever seeing anything like
Did
that.
you not have sex ed in school?
Not like that.
Oh, the teacher put a condom on a.
I mean, if
wooden
we
stick.
did, I don't remember. I remember we were given loads of condoms in school,
Oh.
in like one of the classes.
See, I went to a Christian school. There was none of that going on. They just showed us a woman giving birth, and then someone put a condom on a wooden stick.
That's hilarious.
Do you know what I mean? Completely straight wooden stick, yes, because that's what penises look like.
They heard it's wood, you know, so they were like, cool. Was there like a nun running the class, or
No, it was the teacher.
was she a nun?
No, there was no nuns in the school. They were normal teachers.
Oh, okay, got it. No, in our school it was kind of similar. They showed us a video in like year 8 of a lady giving birth, which can to this day.
In year 8?
I think it was in year 8 or 7.
Yeah, we got showed that much. I
I
got
think it was
showed that
year
in
7.
junior school.
No way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I saw that in no, it was in year 7 in secondary
It
school.
was in year maybe like 4 or 5.
No.
Yeah.
In year 4 or 5,
maybe 5.
I want to say 5, we were taught about periods. And because they split all the girls and boys up, so all the girls were in one class and all the guys were in another class, and they spoke to us about puberty and changes that happen to your body, etc., and how to deal with it. And then when I went to secondary school in year 7, it was in a science class. I think they showed us this, or was it citizenship or something? I can't remember, but like I remember it was a mixed class.
Yeah.
And they showed us like a lady giving birth, and I remember watching
Was it a super old video?
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
on like a tape recorder.
Yeah, and the square TV, but
Yeah.
the actual footage was really old.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah. It wasn't like it was just done the year before.
Yeah,
It was done a
yeah,
long
yeah.
time ago. And the lady, and watching that video scarred me. Like ever since then, I always think, oh my gosh, childbirth.
But the thing is, they don't like it. Doesn't explain anything that's going on.
You just
and
see
it
what
looks-
happens.
and it looks horrible.
Exactly, and you know,
Like who actually?
no man
thought
needs
that
to see that really as well.
Who thought showing a kid that is going to be educational? It's not.
Idiocy.
Like, oh yes, we need to teach kids about sexual education and show them a woman be born. Well, actually, you find out about childbirth when your wife or yourself gives birth to a baby. That's when you see it.
Mm.
So why do you need to study it before? Know that it happens
Yeah,
because it's a part of the process. We don't need to show people what it looks like.
Yeah, and I guess as well, like, I guess especially at
Stupid.
that young age, like, why do we need to see a person giving birth? It doesn't really make sense. Explain to us how babies are created, if it's
Yeah.
part of the science lesson, etc. Teach us about the reproductive system and all of that. But I don't need to see a woman pushing a baby out until it's like my own turn.
Well, I mean, we should be grateful, really. Now there's all sorts in sex education, but we won't get into
Lol,
that.
lol,
Lel.
lol, lol. I saw a video. We saw a video because I showed it to you,
Mm.
where in Ireland, is it in Ireland or Northern Ireland or something, where the lady was like, "This is the homework they're giving to our kids. These are the books,"
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
highly inappropriate stuff that a 4-year-old does not need to be reading or
Hmm.
seeing. So there's a lot of wild shit happening out
Yeah,
there.
education. But yeah, this guy is obviously.
Oh, bless
She
him.
probably pegs him, to be honest, because like no man would ever find out that their wife's cheating on them, even if it's that it's conclusive evidence, in my opinion.
I agree.
I don't think there's
It's neither
no
here nor there.
like she would have to have the best reason for that being in there.
But I
I
don't.
can't even think
Well, this
of.
is what I was gonna say, because like, what could she say? Let's say he confronted her. Obviously, she'd lie about it. What could she say? Oh, I'm holding them for a friend. Bullshit.
But that's the only excuse, isn't it?
But even that'd be bullshit. I'd be like, sorry, I don't believe it.
And unless she knew of this friend and like the friend was like super something or whatever,
No,
it would,
no. Because the thing is, why are you holding condoms for a friend? Is she cheating on her man too?
maybe they're not. She hasn't got them, man. Who knows? But yeah, this guy's dumb, bro. Like, trust your instincts, trust your gut, trust what you saw. Don't listen to
Yeah,
her. She's manipulating you. Get out.
yeah,
If that was me, I don't think I'd even wait around to find out. I'd be like,
yeah,
cool,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
packing your shit.
yeah,
In fact, your shit's already out the window. Go to whoever he is or
yeah.
whoever they are, and you can fuck off out of here. Dirty ass.
Dirty ass. You got excited, huh?
That's how it goes.
Just putting on a little thing.
What is it? Oh yeah, just put on a whole
A
thing.
little thing. Yeah. I
It's a shame.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's peak for him, man. He needs to leave. She's taking the piss out of you, bro.
A whole bag of condoms in the bag, and you're still waiting around thinking that she's making you out to be crazy, bruv. That just adds fuel to the fire.
And what else is she doing to this poor man?
He's obviously super highly controlled and manipulated,
Bless him.
and
Blink twice if you need help, brother. Blink twice. Like that.
but yeah, moving on to brighter, happy, more positive
Just blink
things.
twice.
Yeah, I was blinking loads of times.
Me too.
I've got a dilemma for you too.
Let's go.
So, what would you do if you set up a hidden camera in your room and while you're away, only to find that your mother-in-law was snooping through your wardrobe and private belongings? Um, you don't want to mention also that there was a camera.
Pull it back one more time. That's a lot of information.
So, what would you do if you set up a hidden camera in your room whilst you were away, only to find out that your mother-in-law snooping through? You only to find that your mother-in-law was snooping through your stuff whilst you were away. Of course, in context, you're living with your mother-in-law, the family.
Well, my first question is, was she looking for something specific? Or was she just snooping? Like, did she come
Well,
into...
say this is your bedroom.
Yeah, but I
What
mean,
could
like,
be
did she
that?
come into the room because she wanted to borrow something and use something? Or was she just coming around to have a nosy?
So I'm asking you, what would you do?
Um,
You tell me.
oh, this is a tough one. Uh, because the thing is, there's so many layers to this.
You've put a
One,
hidden camera in your
yeah,
bedroom to begin with.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, how are you gonna
So why?
explain? Yeah, exactly.
But so why is it there? Why
Well,
would you put
obviously,
a hidden
because you
camera
you're
in your
worrying
in
about some
your?
things going missing or moving around a little bit. I think. Yeah, so I think you can't really bring up the fact that there was a hidden camera in the room
Hmm.
because if you're living with this person, your mother-in-law, and you don't want to escalate the situation. You want to de-escalate the situation and resolve it. So I feel like if you went in guns blazing, like, I saw my hidden camera that you were in my room, that probably would.
Stick 'em up, buddy.
That probably wouldn't go down too well.
Your son told me you're an asshole, and I was like, I was on your side, Catherine. Now I see you're just a bitch.
So I think in this scenario, I would probably go and say something like, "Hey, Catherine. Yeah. Hey, Catherine. I was just wondering if you were in my room the other day when I wasn't in, because I'm sure I left somewhere that she searched, wherever she searched, XYZ, and it's not there now. So obviously we've not been home. So I was just wondering if you'd."
What about if nothing was missing?
She doesn't know that.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's just, the first step is getting her to admit she was in the room.
Yeah.
And then the second step is like, "Oh, do you come into the room often? Okay, well, can you not come into the room? Because that would be great, It's private." So I guess maybe going that kind of route would probably be a bit softer, because the reality is, if your mother-in-law's going through your room and doing these kind of things, unless you put a lock on the door, there's nothing you can do about it. Even if you had to if you were to have a conversation with her where you're like bluntly honest, and I guess it does depend on the mother-in-law, but based on this dilemma, it seems that she's not the type of mother-in-law that you can bring that up with.
I think they're always gonna lie though. They're never gonna be like, "Yeah, I did go down your stuff."
Yeah. So like, what are you supposed to do? Because if you go in and confront them about it, because in my heart of hearts, I think that's probably the thing that I'd want to do, but like trying to be a bit more considerate and about the situation and the fact that you live with them, and also it's their property. You're not wanting to cause a fight or an argument or a drama. So it's like, how can I? Because you want to essentially let her know, "I know you've been in my room," so that because she probably thinks, "Oh, you don't know when I go in your room," and that's essentially what you want. You want her to know. You want her to know, "I know you're going in my room," so that she thinks, "Oh shit, I better stop going in the room." How does she know? Yeah. And then every time she does it, just be like, "Did you go in my room?" Do you know what I mean? To the point where she's just going to have to stop going in your room. How does she know? Yeah, exactly. Because then she'll start thinking, "How the heck does she know? Well, how do they know?"
Yeah, I guess, or you could be like, we've been away, and when I came back, I noticed like I put things away really specifically, and I came back and everything was moved. But if you needed something, please just ask me first before, because you got to set the boundary as well.
Yeah.
Before you go in into my room, because it's private.
Yeah.
And that way you're kind of directly saying like, "I know you've touched my shit," without revealing the camera. Because what's she gonna say? "Oh, I didn't go through your stuff." It was like, "Hun, I know you did, because everything's different."
Yeah.
And do you know what I mean? Someone has. So it's either you or the dad or whoever else lives in the place.
Yeah.
Or you just tell her to F off.
I think telling her to F off would be like the thing that I'd want to do the most, but I don't think it'd be the smart option. Do you know what I mean? That's like the reactive response. Do you know what I mean?
Why would you even want to go through someone's stuff though?
People are weird like that,
It's just nosy behavior, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's actually
so that's interesting. Behavior. Interesting situation to be in.
Mother-in-laws, eh? Sorry, you won't have that problem. My mum's cool.
I was just about to say your mum's great. It's cool.
Shout out to Mumsy. Yeah.
Woo, hi, Sam.
We'll tag you in this clip. You're gonna see it. Go Sam. Go Sam. Go Sam. Go Sam.
We're gonna see you real soon.
Back to the podcast. Sorry, out of context for everyone else that's listening / watching. You don't know Sam, get to know. She's a legend.
She's a proper legend.
Yeah, even Alan knows. He's been across the whole galaxy. So that's the dilemmas done, I guess. I'm just gonna bring this to the forefront of the conversation and see what you think about it. Very interesting. Blackstone, obviously one of the biggest investment companies in the world, have just inquired Ancestry.com. The place where you can go to send your DNA sample to find out, like, "Oh, I'm a quarter Irish and I've got 5% Spangalese in there." And all these things, they give you a breakdown of your family tree and stuff. Yeah. Right? So Ancestry.com, they've just acquired it for $4.7 billion. This gives the investment firm total ownership of every single piece of DNA that every person who has ever used the platform has sent in.
That's, first of all, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked at all, because when Ancestry DNA, when I started seeing those adverts and seeing their little things on the internet, I knew from the minute I saw those years ago that this is not something that you should use, because they will sell the data. And also, the I do wonder if the results they give you are actually true and correct.
They just
Like I'd laugh if they're just
randomizer.
yeah. I'd laugh if it's just like, oh yeah, we'll just put anything in.
Probably.
Because
How would you know?
that's what people want to know. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, I want to be exotic. Like,
How would
oh,
you ever
yeah,
know?
exactly.
I guess maybe I don't know if it's is it Ancestry or is there Ancestry or is there another one? I think Ancestry gives you a family tree, doesn't it? One of them gives you like a tree and it links you back to
Oh,
like people. So I guess
yeah.
like the more people that uses it, the more links it connects because obviously the DNAs have markers,
Mm,
and then you can find relations with people like across the globe,
yeah.
for example. So I think it is, if memory serves, it is Ancestry that does that. So the more data they have, basically, the more accurate it is. So there must be a level of accuracy to it, but I would imagine there's a lot of inaccuracy in it as well
100%.
because you would never know.
And how would you prove? The thing is, how would you prove something like that unless you have the same equipment and technology as them? And if you did, you wouldn't use it anyway.
People being scammed. So basically,
Like,
people have been paying this company to find out their family history, when really what they've been doing is paying them so they can
mm,
get give away their DNA,
yeah,
so that this company now can have value to an investment firm, Blackstone being the case, and they've bought them
yeah.
out for 4.7 billion.
And you know that the thing is, like two things. One, um, it's linked. It's not linked to this, but it's a similar thing. I read that for example, if you do a food intolerance test,
Mm.
uh, those tests are not actually 100% accurate.
Mm.
So like a lot of people think, oh, you can just do a blood test or whatever test, and they can tell you by your results, like, oh, you shouldn't eat this and you shouldn't eat that and you shouldn't eat this because your body doesn't like it.
Mm.
But those tests are not 100% accurate. So if that's something that's like medical is not that accurate, what's to say that this will be? And the thing is, there's loads of companies that set up, that offer food intolerance tests, and under the guise that, oh, we can tell you what food you'll be intolerant to.
Yeah.
But the reality is they cannot 100% categorically say it's consistent and 100% accurate every single time,
Mm.
because it's not. And the second thing was, I can't remember, but I'll say another thing. The other thing is that this is also similar to. I used to have a Fitbit. I used to have a Fitbit, which was owned by whatever company owns Fitbit. And after a couple of years, and I remember thinking like, oh, this is a lot of data that you've got. And I didn't even have the best one. I had like the second one up or the third one up or something. And but I remember thinking like, oh, there's a lot of data in this, and you can
Mm.
check the information, and that's like a lot of information stored and blah 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 blah. So what happens? Fast forward a little bit. Google bought it because they wanted the data.
Mm.
So there's obviously a trend that's happening where like big companies are buying data from smaller companies that are doing this type of work. So it's just something to be wary of. Like, it's data. We're in the age of data and
Yeah.
information, and obviously these people want to use this information to, I guess, predict us and our behaviors,
Mm-hmm.
to then probably try to use that against us in some way.
One way, shape, or form. Yeah, big
Yeah,
big data is the biggest commodity on the planet right now. It's
yeah,
information, and these companies, Ancestry, Fitbit, being prime examples in this conversation, we see them as a company that provides a service.
mm,
When in actual fact, they're data gatherers.
yeah,
They use the service that they provide to gather our data
mm-hmm.
in the hopes that the data that they gather will be valuable to someone else in the future, and they will buy them out. Which in the
Yeah,
case has happened with Fitbit with Google, and has now happened with Ancestry with Blackstone.
yeah,
And then they're not buying the company. They don't give a fuck about the service. They want the data.
exactly.
But begs the question for Blackstone, the medical data from Fitbit you can kind of understand because Google want to probably sell other products that are related
Yeah,
to it. They probably have a competing thing that they want to launch as well. So if they've already got this whole database and they can make their
they
products
just put
even better. But what is Blackstone? What interest have they got in people's DNA?
well,
What value is in that?
they have, I think it's Blackstone. I can't remember what other company it is, but they have like an 80% share.
BlackRock.
BlackRock. Is it BlackRock?
I'm just guessing. We'll finish your sentence.
They're basically, they've got the hands in all the pies.
Yeah, it's BlackRock and Vanguard.
That's it. So They could do anything with it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely anything.
But like, where does that go? Like, all right, cool. I'll give you a database of 10 million people's DNAs. What are you going to do with it?
Um, I guess you can predict people's health, where the health, what the health has been showing, predict, what to invest in health wise as well,
But if you could predict their health, then with that same data, could you not manufacture their illness?
Yeah, exactly. And then you'd
And
know what to invest in.
you know exactly how to make them people sick.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're going to do something with that that's going to
But
affect
that, but
people
that, but
negatively, but I am saying they are in it for money, and if they make people sick and they had to buy the product that they use, because I'm betting that Blackstone own a lot of pharmaceutical companies too.
yeah.
But hey, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just one-eyed Joe from down the road.
No, absolute facts. There's a lot of things coming out about the COVID vaccine and the health problems associated with taking it now, which
I mean, I'm still fine, and I've had 5.
hilarity. And the reality is, the people who made the vaccine probably knew that this was the case and probably knew what to invest in. Because, say, for example, hypothetically, one of the things I think that is happening a lot is people having problems with the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember the exact name of the condition.
Myocarditis.
That's the one.
Inflammation
Myocarditis.
of the heart.
Yeah. So if they're in their test results that they saw this or they foresaw this based on other things in the test results, then they would know. Okay, cool. We need to invest in heart medication,
which they've done. The medicine for myocarditis, Pfizer owns the.
So is everyone paying attention? Like, and this is how these companies like rock and roll. There's a reason. There's a reason that they have so much power and have got to a level where they can do these things. Is because they just care about money. They don't care about helping people. They don't care. Like, anyone who believes that they could have made that vaccine and it be as effective as they said is stupid. I'm not even a scientist, and that seems stupid to me. So, and here it is coming out now that actually, and also their track record as well, they're a company that's been sued
the most
for
billions,
for the most amount of money, I think, in history. So what does that tell you? Like, why would you trust these people? They're money orientated.
Sued, may I add, for blackmailing, bribing, and doctors.
They're the real mafia
and fudging medical data to push products that were unsafe or unfit for humans. But yeah, I'm sure the company changed its mind
and became good. Yeah, and became good.
Okay then.
Okay. And the craziest thing is, for the majority of people, it was just a flu. So yeah, it's a peak one, and I think, and I hope that when next time, if something like this happens, that people are just a bit more wary and a bit more, considerate to what's going on.
I think it's very, ideally that would be the case. But even I predict when the next crisis is, it'd be a pandemic or a natural disaster, climate change, UFOs, whatever it is. Even the people that say that they're aware that these things are going to happen or that they know what is going on, when it happens, they'll follow along with it.
But you know something, possibly, because I think if you can evoke fear in someone, then you can control them.
Exactly.
And the majority of people, you say, for example, if you've got kids and something comes out that could be dangerous for your kids, then people are going to, exactly, because as your parental, duty, you feel like you have to do everything to protect your kid. But the thing is, with things like vaccines and all this other stuff, don't be the first one in line to get it. Don't be an idiot. Like, just wait. Let other people take it first and see what happens to them. If you want to take it, at least see what happens to everyone else first. Don't be the first
in line.
Exactly.
The first ever person.
But
But that's, again, it's because they're so scared.
But
if you're scared of dying, and I tell you, right, if you jump off that cliff, you'll be alright. You'll be the first one to do it. You're not going to wait for someone else to do it.
That's just wild.
If you're that scared, you'll believe it.
I just can't like. I can't fathom such a thing.
Because but this is you can't fathom it because you don't live from fear. You live from your heart. But the majority of people in survival mode, they live life in their
Oh,
default
I'm scared I'm not
programming.
going to pay my bills. I'm scared I can't do this. I'm
I'm
scared.
scared I won't be able to eat. I'm scared I'm going to lose my house. I'm scared I'm going to lose my family. I'm scared I'm going to die. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. Their motivation for getting up in the morning is fear. Imagine waking
Yeah,
up every day scared.
that's wild.
And you think, oh, what, like scared of paying bills? And it doesn't matter what the fear is, it's the same emotion.
Mm.
And it all boils down to a fear of dying, which is the innate
And
root cause of all of this.
and I guess the question you've got to ask then, why are you so afraid of dying? Is it because you're not fulfilled in the life that you've lived? Because if you've lived a fulfilling life, then surely you'd be okay with being like, cool, I'm content with the life that I'm living and lived. Because in actual honesty, there's so much that I want to do in life.
Hmm.
And I think if I was to find out I'm dying now, I I would be sad and afraid of the fact that, not afraid, but I guess the feeling in me would be like, oh, there's so much stuff that I didn't do.
Hmm.
There's so many things that I didn't achieve. So um, but if you're doing or trying to do these things every single day, then and waking up and living your purpose or working towards it, then you would have less fear of dying and you just be living in your truth and your power.
Hmm.
You know?
Uh, it's a tough one. I get what you're saying. Like, yes, it resonates with me. If I was to find out, inshallah, that's not the case. That was my time was nearing. I would be gutted because there's so much stuff that I want to do.
Exactly.
But I don't think that would necessarily make me scared of
That's what I
death.
mean.
It
Is
would just make me
motivated to do more, maybe.
it'd make me motivated at the time I have to do what I can.
Yeah.
I'd be like, upset that that's happening, but I don't think I'd focus on that because I'm thinking, well, okay, you've got a year to live. Well, I best
But I
have the
mean,
fucking
yeah,
best year of my life then.
exactly.
Do you know what I
But I
mean?
think the thing is that people probably don't have those thoughts, but deep down feel unfulfilled.
Mm,
Can't address or assess why they feel
yeah,
unfulfilled, and because of that, they live in fear. Like, oh, I better pay my bills, or I need to do this. Because even when we talk to people about like, what are your hobbies? What is it that you want to do outside of working in a call center? What is it that you want to do outside of working in a retail shop or
no
whatever
answer.
else they're doing? People don't really have an answer.
Yeah,
But we weren't born and brought here to do these things.
tell them,
We're greater than that. We have the capacity to create.
tell them.
So like and I think everyone's got the capacity to create or bring something to the world. And I think that most people are not, because they're trapped in this like routine of, oh, I need to pay my bills, I need to do this, I need to do that. And because you're so like meshed in that idea, you don't feel fulfilled,
Mm,
and it causes you to operate from fear.
yeah, beautifully said.
Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, and it all comes down to purpose at the end of the day, isn't it? If people have a purpose, then it doesn't really matter what's happening. You're living.
Yeah.
But people that don't have a purpose, they live in fear. They're
Mm.
so scared of dying. Well, hun, you're already there. You're dead.
Yeah. You're not
You're not
living.
living.
Yeah.
You're existing. You're not
Yeah.
here to exist, to be. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? You're meant to be doing shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
And they're again, it's they're fear, lower chakra, root chakra, linked with survival.
Mm.
Yeah, the time's up. Time ago.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's hard hitting subjects, so I'm carrying on, and people just get stuck in it, and that's how they're controlled. They don't want us to ascend our consciousness, up the
Mm.
chakras. They don't want us to heal them and be able to unlock the next level. They want to keep us in fear. They want to keep
Yeah.
us in survival, and they want to keep us in sex. That's why all
Yeah.
these things are being pushed everywhere.
Yeah.
It's the root chakra connects you with materialism, the
Yeah.
3D, physical. When we're more than that, if you understand, if you raise your consciousness to a higher level, to a higher degree, to know that we're not, we don't have a body, we're in a body.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You're having
Then
a human experience.
your whole life changes. It
Yeah.
releases you from the fear of death because you understand that really death is just a human concept. Energy cannot be destroyed. So surely, even if you do not understand that what happens after you leave this body, something does.
Yeah.
You don't need to be scared of it. So just go about your life, live the best life that you can live. Make sure you leave the world better than you found it.
Yeah.
Help people as much as you can, and just move with love. You'll be sweet.
Mm. Yeah.
but everyone's just too concerned with, like you said, paying bills, going to work, not losing their job, having
Yeah.
fights with their spouse, drinking in the pub, not losing the roof over their heads, worrying about their football team if they're going to win the league,
Yeah.
listening to the news too much and worrying about all the things that they tell you to worry about. Half of people's worries wouldn't exist if
If you
they
just
just
turned it
turned
off.
off the TV.
Yeah.
Like, but we're addicted to it. It makes people feel good because it's the same. It's how they feel on the inside. So when they see it in the outside experience, although it's not what they want,
Misery loves company.
yeah, exactly. And they need it because it affirms that feeling. And it's like, oh, if
Mm.
everything goes to shit, it's all right because I feel like shit too. Agents of chaos. But yeah.
Yeah. That's the crack for today.
That's the crack.
That's the crack.
That's the crack. See you next week for more crack.
And what's the?
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.